Brooklyn Independent Television.
Hi, I'm Lauren Moraski, and welcome to Brooklyn Review's first edition of 2010. The new year is here, and for those who ride the city's subways and buses, there's a sense of apprehension in the air. Last year, the Metropolitan Transportation Authority Board voted to approve a 2010 budget that contains service cuts. Parents, too, might have to dig deeper into their own pockets now that free Metro cards for students are being phased out. While nothing has happened yet, the prospect has many residents up in arms. Sherry KARABIN reports.
The sign reads, "Use mass transit." But if the latest round of proposed cuts take place, those who ride the city's subways and buses may find things a bit more difficult. This after the Metropolitan Transportation Authority voted last year to approve a 2010 budget ripe with changes. While fares are not scheduled to go up, there is a proposal to eliminate the W and Z lines and shorten the route of the G and M trains. Many bus lines could be eliminated too, including the B23 and B25, and others like the B65 might not run on the weekends.
It's going to be difficult for the people to get around. You know, businesses are going to lose money, you know, because people are not going to want to take cabs and stuff to where they got to go.
It's bad because it's restricting people from going out.
Well, it's a betrayal of the public project. It's a betrayal of everything New York stands for. Yeah, it'd be terrible.
Disabled riders would also be affected, since door-to-door access-a-ride service could end, with riders being taken to the nearest stop instead. But what has so many people up in arms is the MTA's proposal to phase out free Metro cards for students. If this plan becomes a reality, students would be paying half fares in September of 2010. But by 2011, they'd have to go it alone entirely.
How are we going to get to schools? Most of the time, I go to school right around there, and it's hard for me to even get car fare. I think that's wrong. I think that's really wrong. We need as much help as we need. You know, I'm young, I got a child.
It's like telling the kids run the streets. Straight up and down, go run the streets because they don't care how you see your future or your life.
MTA officials say the cuts are necessary to plug a $383 million budget gap caused by an unexpected decision by Governor David Paterson and the state legislature to cut $143 million in direct MTA aid, while projecting a $49 million reduction in dedicated tax revenues in 2010. The remainder of the shortfalls being attributed to $91 million in raises for union employees and a reduction of $100 million in the state's payroll tax projections. MTA Chairman and CEO Jay Walder says when $400 million is taken from the budget practically overnight, you have to make the kind of changes that have an enormous impact on people. If the loss in state aid weren't bad enough, the city did not increase its contribution either. Governor Paterson has promised to restore the $39 million cut to student fares if the state's revenues increase, but there are no guarantees.
If the government put more money into the system, I think everybody would like that. I think that would save everybody from digging deeper in their own pockets.
While the overwhelming number of people were against making any type of cuts, there was one man who actually supported doing so.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea because they're wasting a lot of money and they really need money. Because every time they raise the fare because of the train, because they need to pay the workers. So if they take those trains out, there's less workers, you understand? There's more money.
As the debate continues, riders are reminded that the cuts are still a long way from becoming a reality. Public hearings still have to be held, and MTA officials say there is plenty of room for discussion and alternative ideas. This is Sherry KARABIN reporting for Brooklyn Review.
MTA officials say they're hopeful that the state may be able to come up with additional money to help plug their budget gaps so they don't have to reduce services. But if nothing changes, riders could see cuts take effect starting this spring.